There are certain royal moments that instantly capture the public's imagination, moments where elegance, symbolism, and emotion come together so perfectly that they feel larger than the event itself. That was exactly the atmosphere surrounding the 2026 Buckingham Palace Garden Party, where Princess Catherine made an unforgettable appearance that quickly became the center of discussion across Britain and beyond. The Prince and Princess of Wales hosted the prestigious celebration in honor of frontline workers and community heroes from every corner of the United Kingdom. But while the event itself carried deep meaning, attention shifted dramatically the moment Catherine stepped onto the palace lawns wearing one of Queen Elizabeth II's most treasured pieces of jewelry. Almost immediately, royal watchers began asking the same question. Was this simply a graceful tribute to the late monarch, or was the palace quietly sending a far more significant message about the future of the monarchy? And what do you think? Did the jewelry suit Catherine in a way that honored Queen Elizabeth's legacy, or do you believe some royal pieces can only truly belong to their original owner? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy royal stories, hidden symbolism, and the latest palace developments, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. An arrival nobody could ignore. On May 8, 2026, Buckingham Palace once again opened its famous gardens for one of the most elegant royal traditions of the year. From early morning, excitement had already begun building throughout London as invited guests arrived in carefully chosen formal wear, elegant dresses, tailored suits, and eye-catching hats, all prepared to attend one of the monarchy's most historic social occasions. Although King Charles III had already hosted a royal garden party earlier that week, this gathering instantly felt different. Much of the anticipation centered around Prince William and Princess Catherine, who served as the leading hosts of the afternoon. The second they appeared, the mood across the palace grounds noticeably shifted. Conversations paused, cameras flashed nonstop, and thousands of guests turned their attention toward the royal couple. Royal garden parties have always represented more than luxury and tradition. Behind the polished image lies an important purpose: honoring ordinary people who have made extraordinary contributions to society. Invitations are reserved for individuals who have dedicated years to charity work, healthcare, education, emergency services, military duty, volunteer organizations, and community leadership. For many attendees, stepping through the gates of Buckingham Palace feels like something they once believed could never happen in their lifetime. This year, nearly 8,000 guests attended the celebration. Among them were people who had spent decades helping struggling families, supporting mental health initiatives, caring for vulnerable communities, and serving others through difficult times. Some were recognized for acts of bravery and leadership, while others had quietly transformed lives without seeking public attention. Yet, despite the grandeur of the occasion, the atmosphere remained surprisingly warm and welcoming. Under the soft spring sunshine, the palace gardens looked almost unreal in their beauty. Bright flowers stretched across the grounds in full bloom, elegant white marquees lined the lawns, and tables filled with tea, cakes, pastries, and refreshments created a scene that perfectly blended royal history with relaxed celebration. As tradition requires, the royal family made their formal entrance shortly after the national anthem echoed across the gardens. Instantly, silence swept through the crowd as guests turned toward the royal procession. The moment carried the same dignity and ceremony that have defined royal garden parties for more than 160 years. But despite the scale of the event, the elegance of the setting, and the long-standing tradition behind it, this particular afternoon would soon be remembered for one reason above all else: Princess Catherine's extraordinary appearance. So what exactly made her arrival so unforgettable? A return filled with confidence. Although this marked only the second time Prince William and Princess Catherine had officially hosted a Buckingham Palace garden party, they appeared completely natural in their roles. There was no hesitation or stiffness. Instead, they moved through the event with calm confidence, presenting the image of a royal couple already stepping comfortably into the future of the monarchy. Prince William looked every bit the future king many already believe him to be. He wore a traditional black morning coat with a formal top hat, staying true to royal custom while adding touches of personality through a light blue waistcoat and patterned red tie. The combination managed to feel regal without appearing overly distant or severe. Throughout the afternoon, William appeared relaxed and approachable. Rather than rushing through conversations, he paused often to listen carefully to guests, smiling easily and making people feel genuinely valued. Observers repeatedly noted how sincere and effortless his interactions appeared. But despite William's strong presence, it was Catherine who immediately became the focus of attention. The moment she arrived, cameras followed her every movement. Guests watched closely as she crossed the gardens, while social media rapidly filled with reactions praising her appearance, confidence, and elegance. There was an unmistakable excitement surrounding her presence that seemed to spread throughout the entire event. Once again, Catherine reminded the public why she remains one of the most admired figures in the royal family. She carried herself with grace and sophistication, but also with warmth that made people feel connected to her. Throughout the afternoon, she appeared radiant and genuinely happy to return to such a major public occasion. Her smile rarely faded as she greeted guests, listened carefully to personal stories, and laughed softly during conversations. Whether speaking to charity leaders, elderly attendees, or younger guests attending their first royal function, she treated everyone with equal kindness and patience. Many watching felt there was deeper meaning behind her appearance. After the health struggles and difficult period she had endured in recent years, seeing Catherine return so confidently to public life carried enormous emotional weight. She did not simply attend the garden party, she seemed to completely command it with quiet strength and renewed confidence. As the afternoon continued, it became increasingly clear that this was no ordinary royal engagement. To many royal observers, it felt like a defining moment that confirmed the Princess of Wales had fully stepped back into public life, stronger, calmer, and more admired than ever before. But what truly captured everyone's attention was not only her confidence, it was what she chose to wear. When elegance carried a hidden message. Royal fashion has always been about far more than clothing alone. Every color, accessory, and jewelry choice can quietly communicate emotion, loyalty, tribute, or symbolism without a single word being spoken. At this Buckingham Palace Garden Party, Catherine transformed a traditional royal appearance into one of the most memorable fashion moments of the year. For the occasion, she selected a beautifully tailored cream outfit by self-portrait. At first glance, the design appeared understated, but its elegance revealed itself through careful detail. The flowing fabric, structured silhouette, and soft spring tone created a perfect balance between modern sophistication and royal tradition. Rather than demanding attention, the outfit naturally drew it. She completed the look with a vintage-inspired hat that added a touch of timeless refinement,
their plans for the royal
framing
cellars
the overall
and
appearance.
their influence.
But the true focus of discussion quickly became her jewelry. Catherine wore earrings and a bracelet that had once belonged to Queen Elizabeth II herself. The second royal watchers recognized the pieces, the conversation surrounding her appearance changed instantly. This was no longer simply about fashion. It became about legacy, symbolism, and continuity within the monarchy. These were not ordinary accessories. They represented decades of royal history and carried emotional significance connected to one of Britain's most respected monarchs. Queen Elizabeth II devoted her life to duty, stability, and service. Her image remains deeply tied to continuity within the monarchy, even after her passing. By wearing jewelry so strongly associated with the late Queen, Catherine appeared to send a quiet tribute to both her memory and the values she represented. Many royal commentators described the choice as symbolic of a bridge between generations. As Catherine walked across the Buckingham Palace lawns, there was a striking sense that the past and future of the monarchy were meeting in a single image. Online reactions arrived almost immediately. Admirers praised her elegance, while royal fashion analysts pointed out how carefully Catherine often uses clothing and jewelry to communicate meaning subtly rather than dramatically. Once again, she proved that royal fashion can become storytelling without words. Other royal women also brought elegance to the occasion. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, appeared in a pale blue ensemble paired with silver details and a feathered hat that reflected understated sophistication. Zara Tinsdale added brighter energy to the afternoon in a bold floral blue dress and wide-brimmed hat that perfectly matched her confident personality. Together, the royal women created a visual scene filled with elegance, symbolism, and tradition that made the entire event feel unforgettable. The tradition behind the palace lawns. Although the fashion and royal appearances drew global attention, the Buckingham Palace Garden Party itself carries a much deeper purpose, rooted in history. The tradition dates back to the 1860s during Queen Victoria's reign. The original idea was simple. The royal family wanted a way to personally recognize people who had made meaningful contributions to society. Over the decades, that tradition evolved into one of the monarchy's most respected annual events. Even as Britain changed dramatically through the generations, the core purpose of the garden parties remained the same: celebrating service, dedication, kindness, and achievement. Each year, invitations are carefully distributed to people across the United Kingdom and Commonwealth who have devoted themselves to helping others. Many guests are selected for charity work, volunteer service, leadership roles, healthcare contributions, or acts of bravery. For most attendees, simply entering Buckingham Palace feels like stepping into history itself. The gardens become a world of elegant marquees, carefully prepared afternoon tea, delicate pastries, finger sandwiches, and royal tradition mixed with genuine warmth. Guests laugh, take photographs, and enjoy an atmosphere that feels surprisingly personal despite the grandeur surrounding them. One of the most memorable parts of the event is the chance to briefly meet members of the royal family face to face. Even a short conversation or handshake often becomes a lifelong memory. This year's gathering managed to preserve all the classic elegance associated with royal garden parties, while also presenting a more modern and relatable image of the monarchy through William and Catherine's presence. But beyond the royal spectacle, the true heart of the day remained the guests themselves, the people being honored. Every invitation carried a personal story. Among the guests was Rhian Mannings, founder of the charity To Wish, which supports families coping with the devastating loss of a child or young person. Her work has provided comfort and guidance to families during unimaginable grief, making her invitation to Buckingham Palace a powerful recognition of the lives she has touched. Also attending was Sam Stables, founder of We Are Farming Minds, an organization dedicated to supporting mental health awareness within farming communities. His efforts have helped break long-standing silence surrounding emotional struggles faced by farmers living in isolation and pressure. The event also celebrated
their plans for
extraordinary
the
young
royal cellars
achievers,
and
including
their
Rowan,
influence over
Anna, and Harry, known as the Flying Fish, who became the youngest trio to complete the world's toughest 3,000-mile rowing challenge. Across the palace grounds stood healthcare workers, teachers, volunteers, military veterans, charity leaders, and ordinary individuals whose quiet efforts had transformed countless lives. What made the afternoon so moving was the realization that every guest carried a meaningful story of sacrifice, resilience, or compassion. Prince William and Princess Catherine appeared deeply engaged throughout the day, listening carefully and speaking warmly to guests. Their approach felt sincere rather than ceremonial, helping many attendees feel surprisingly comfortable and appreciated. For countless guests, the experience became far more than simply attending a royal event. It became recognition that their lives and contributions truly mattered. Why this appearance meant so much.
Although the garden party honored public service, the emotional center of the entire event undeniably became Princess Catherine herself. Her appearance carried meaning far beyond fashion or royal duty. After years marked by health concerns and reduced public appearances, many supporters around the world had wondered when she might fully return to major royal engagements. Because of this, her confident appearance at Buckingham Palace felt deeply emotional for many people following her journey. What stood out most was not merely that she attended, it was how naturally at ease she seemed. Catherine appeared calm, relaxed, and genuinely joyful throughout the afternoon. Her conversations felt sincere, her smile looked effortless, and her body language reflected quiet confidence. To many people, she became a symbol of resilience and recovery. Observers quickly described the appearance as one of her strongest and most graceful in recent years. She balanced royal elegance with emotional openness in a way that made her feel both dignified and relatable at the same time. As images of her spread across television and social media, public response became overwhelmingly positive. Beyond discussions about jewelry and fashion, many people simply felt relieved and happy to see her looking healthy and confident again. By the end of the event, one thing had become unmistakably clear. Princess Catherine had not simply attended the Buckingham Palace Garden Party, she had become its defining image. A quiet connection with Queen Elizabeth II. Part of what made Catherine's jewelry choice feel so meaningful was the long-standing relationship she shared with Queen Elizabeth II. Their connection was never loud or dramatic. Instead, it was built slowly through trust, consistency, and shared values. From the beginning of her royal life, Catherine reportedly impressed the late queen with her calm personality and steady nature. Even under intense public attention and pressure, she remained composed and disciplined, qualities Queen Elizabeth deeply respected. As Catherine gradually accepted more senior responsibilities within the monarchy, her reliability and professionalism became increasingly clear. She carried out public duties carefully, avoided unnecessary controversy, and consistently supported Prince William with loyalty and grace. Over time, this earned her the Queen's quiet trust. Their relationship was never based on emotional public displays, but on mutual understanding and a shared commitment to duty. In many ways, Queen Elizabeth's apparent admiration for Catherine reflected confidence in the future of the monarchy itself. And perhaps that is why seeing Catherine wear the late Queen's jewelry carried such emotional power for so many people watching. A glimpse into the monarchy's future. As guests slowly departed Buckingham Palace, the atmosphere left behind felt more meaningful than a typical royal event. The day had beautifully combined tradition, service, elegance, and emotional warmth in a way that felt deeply symbolic of the monarchy's future direction. Prince William appeared increasingly comfortable stepping into greater responsibility, carrying himself with calm leadership and modern empathy. But it was Princess Catherine who seemed to embody the spirit of continuity most strongly. Through her warmth, grace, and carefully chosen
their
tribute to Queen
plans for the royal
Elizabeth II,
cellars and
she appeared
their
to connect
influence
the monarchy's past with its future in a single, unforgettable image. To many people watching around the world, Catherine no longer looked like someone simply preparing for the future, she looked fully ready for it. And while the Buckingham Palace Garden Party honored thousands of remarkable individuals, it may ultimately be remembered as the day Princess Catherine quietly confirmed her place at the very center of the monarchy's next chapter. So, what do you think about Catherine's appearance at the garden party? Do you believe she already carries the presence of a future queen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this royal story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates from inside the royal family.